In this video, we take a look at the top 10 best shaders for Minecraft 1.21.10. The downloads to all these shaders can be found in the link in the description down below and in the pinned comment, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're starting off this video strong with the Astrolex shader. Now this here recently got updated for 1.21.10 and here's how things do look like. So I'm not gonna lie you guys, this shader kind of requires you to have a higher end device. As you're able to tell, I'm actually lagging a little bit, but yeah, here's how things do look like. We have the beautiful sun over there and it has like these really cool animations as well. It kind of looks like a cartoon, so absolutely do love that. And also we do get photorealistic skies. Now one really neat feature that I absolutely love is that like we get like birds flying in the sky, so that definitely does add to the atmosphere of Minecraft. And we also do get this really cool like rainbow block outline, which is honestly pretty cool. And here is how the water does look like. The water also is one of my favorite things about Java shaders in general. As you're able to tell, we do have a reflection of like the trees and stuff like that. And we get this really awesome realistic floor pattern underwater over here. Like this shader just has so many features, bro. It's honestly pretty insane. And if you couldn't tell, this shader also does come with motion blur as well. So that's definitely another major plus. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and set this bad boy to sunset just like so. And here is how the sunset looks like. So the sunset is absolutely stunning. You can see light rays coming through the mountain. It creates like this really cool like cinema effect, which I absolutely love. Now, in my personal opinion, playing Minecraft with your friends is much more fun than playing Minecraft alone. And using Minecraft servers, you can go ahead and play with all your friends from all over the world. And making a Minecraft server has never been easier thanks to our partners over at Simple Game Hosting. Simple Game Hosting offers affordable and high quality Minecraft server hosting where you're easily able to set up a 24/7 unlimited slot server for you and all of your friends. The best part about Simple Game Hosting is that it is incredibly beginner friendly with their dozens of video tutorials and 24/7 live customer support. At the moment, they're currently doing a sale where everybody who gets a Minecraft server gets 25% off their very first month of server hosting. So guys, if you ever thought about making a Minecraft server, now is the perfect time to do it. The link is in the description down below and in the pinned comment. Alright guys, that's enough yapping out of me. So the next shader we're going to look at is the Bliss shader. So guys, when you load into the Bliss shaders, here's how things do look like. So yep, this shader is not as like intense as the previous shader that like legit lagged my device. So yeah, here's how things do look like. Obviously, we do get brighter lighting, darker defined shadows as well. We get these really cool transparent leaves and of course photorealistic clouds over here, which does add a nice effect. So here is how the water does look like. As you're able to tell, we have a reflection of light going through the water over here and it creates this absolutely stunning effect. But guys, if you go underwater, here's how things do look like. Things honestly do look pretty good if I do say so myself. And oh my goodness, did you see that? Like when we went out of the water, it had like that really cool custom animation. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty fire. Anyways guys, let's go ahead and set this bad boy to sunset. All right, so here's how the sunset does look like. We have all the light rays coming through the mountain over here and it's being reflected on the water and it creates this absolutely beautiful effect. Next up, we have the iteration T shader. So when you load into the shader, here's how it does look like. And yo, they kind of give you like an introduction screen as well. So that's honestly pretty cool if I do say so myself. But yeah, you will notice that this shader makes all the colors way more brighter and way more saturated. And of course, these shadows are made to be significantly darker as well, which is definitely pretty cool. And of course, we do have dynamic shadows as well, which is another great feature. In terms of clouds, the clouds are made to be incredibly photorealistic. And guys, let's take a look at the water. Yo, the water has to be my favorite thing with the shader, hands down. I mean, look at this, guys. You can literally see all of the water waves going through here, so that's honestly pretty cool. And underwater, man, also just looks just as good. You know what would be really cool? If you built like an underwater base with this shader. Yo, that would honestly be so cool, guys. And this is definitely the perfect shader to do it with. All right, guys, but here's how the sunset does look like. As you're able to tell, it is incredibly bright. We have a bunch of light rays as well, and it definitely does look pretty stunning. Next up, we got the miniature shader. When you load into the shader, here's how things do look like. Now, this is the shader that is not going to lag your device or anything like that. I know some of these shaders can be very intense on your device, but this one is made to be more chill. You're still able to get beautiful lighting and shadows and stuff like that, but it's not going to like completely fry your device. Now, for reference, I am using a PC with an RTX 2060, and an RTX 2060 graphics card is honestly pretty outdated. It's like one of the first RTX graphics cards that came out, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a benchmark on how well your device would actually perform. But anyways, here's how the water does look like. So unfortunately, we don't have like any cool like water animation or anything like that. It's transparent, but obviously that is going to be a benefit to your game performance. So yeah, it definitely does look better than the vanilla Minecraft, but obviously it's not as crazy or intense as some of the other shaders in this video. All right, next up we have the nostalgia shader. So guys, when you load into the nostalgia shader, here's how things do look like. Now this here is meant to bring back the old school vibe of Minecraft shaders, like all the way back in 2015 and stuff like that. So I know guys, I am Unk, but yeah, this is basically made to be like an old school shader. In my opinion, it still does look pretty good. We do have way more brighter colors and they're made to be way more saturated as well, which is pretty cool. And here's how the sand looks like. The sand, okay, the sand honestly does look pretty bright. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the water. So here's how the water does look like. We get this really cool water animation and stuff like that. And as you're able to tell, we do have a reflection of the sun on the water. And the clouds, man, the clouds are made to have this like really cool 3D effect as well, which is definitely pretty nice. But let's go underwater and see how things do look like. All right, so this shader really does excel underwater. It looks absolutely stunning. I mean, look at this, guys. Again, just imagine building a secret underwater base with this shader. That is going to be pretty cool. But all right, let's go ahead and set this bad boy to sunset just like so. All right, so here's how the sunset does look like. And the sunset, man, actually does look really nice. We got this really beautiful like triangle shaped sun, and we have like so many different shades of like violet, pink, etc., and it all blends in together to create this really beautiful effect. Next up, we have the photon shaders. When you load into the photon shaders, here's how things do look like. So you'll immediately notice that the colors are made to be way more brighter and saturated. The shadows are also made to be darker and defined. In terms of the clouds are made to be pretty realistic. Look at that. And this shader kind of has like a warm vibe to it. I don't know if that does make any sense, but it kind of has like an orange tint. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the water. So here's how the water does look like. It definitely does look pretty good. We do have a reflection of like the clouds and the terrain and even the sun over there as well. And here's how the underwater does look like. It does look pretty cool. And this is pretty awesome actually. Look at this. We get like light rays underwater from the sun. That is, that's honestly a pretty good feature, not gonna lie. And the sun itself is made to be very realistic as well. Anyways, let's go ahead and set this bad boy to sunset. And the sunset looks like completely different, but I like it. So here's how the sunset does look like. We do have the sun being reflected, and you can see the light rays and stuff like that. You can see the sun being reflected on the water. And look at the insane amount of clouds. And guys, if we stand still for just a little bit, you're able to notice that the clouds are actually moving. That is honestly a nice touch. And you can see that the stars are slowly emerging from the sky. And I was very curious to see how the night sky looks like. And here's how it does look like. So we still do have clouds, but we do have a bunch of stars over there as well. So I definitely do like how this shader actually puts attention into the nighttime, not just the daytime. Next up, we have the Solas shaders. When you load into the Solas shaders, here's how things do look like. So when you load into the shader, you will notice that the colors are made to be way more saturated. And here we have the sun over there. It's made to have like this really cool realistic effect. And look at that. We have like a sun glare, which is pretty cool. I hope you guys are able to notice. But look, if we go ahead and keep on looking here, we kind of get like this really cool flare effect, which is honestly pretty nice. But let's go ahead and take a look at the water. So here's how the water does look like. Again, the water in Minecraft Java shaders always look pretty good in my opinion. Well, most of the time. And we do have the sun being reflected right over there. Here's how the underwater does look like. It definitely does look pretty good. And I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but there's like a slight 3D effect with all of the textures. That is honestly pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of like vibrant visuals, because a lot of vibrant visual shaders do that. And look at the seaweed, man. The seaweed is also made to have like this really cool realistic 3D effect. So that is definitely going to add a lot more to the shader. Anyways, let's go ahead and set this bad boy to sunset just like so. And here's how the sunset does look like. So as you're able to tell, it does look pretty good. We do have the sun being reflected, and you're able to notice how we have so many different shades of like pink. So this is like a full-on pink sunset, which honestly does look pretty good in my opinion. Next up, we have the True Light FX shader. When you load into the shader, here's how things do look like. Now this shader is again not made to lag your device or anything like that. So yeah, as you're able to tell, we're running it relatively well, and we still are able to get beautiful effects. As you're able to tell, we do get brighter lighting and darker defined shadows. So this is a great shader if you still want to get like some beautiful shader effects and stuff like that, but you don't want to completely ruin your FPS, or maybe you have a lower end device, then this is definitely the shader for you. And here's how the water does look like. Unfortunately, it is made to be transparent, but it will get the job done regardless. Next up, we have the Miyazam shader. Now I wanted to include a wild card in this video, and this is the wild card shader, well, what I like to call it. So this is how things do look like, and as you're able to tell, it is made to be completely different, man. Like all the lighting and stuff like that is like completely changed, and we do get this like outline on all the blocks and stuff like that. So this is basically made to be like if Minecraft were in a nuclear disaster or something like that. Or maybe you could use it for like a horror map or something like that if you want to make your Minecraft game feel a little bit more spooky. So yeah, here's how it does look like. This is supposed to be like nuclear waste and stuff like that. So you could really use your imagination with this shader. And again, I wanted to spice things up and include a wild card, and this here is the wild card shader. So yeah, in terms of the sky, it is made to be bright blue, and we do have a sun right over there as well. All right, let's go ahead and set this bad boy to sunset, and here's how the sunset does look like. So it still does look pretty good. So you could definitely go ahead and use this shader for many different creative purposes. Next up, we have the Zenith shader. When you load into the Zenith shader, here's how things will look like. Now, this, in my opinion, is by far one of the best shaders out there. So you'll immediately notice that the colors are made to be way more brighter and saturated. We also do get darker and defined shadows. And definitely one of my favorite things about the shader has to be the water. So look at the water, guys. It is made to be incredibly realistic, and we do get reflections and stuff like that, and we get this really cool wavy water animation. But guys, if we go underwater, here's how things do look like, and we get like sparkling effects as well. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. That definitely does look pretty good regardless. But anyways, here is how the sky looks like. As you're able to tell, we get photorealistic clouds everywhere we do go. And anyways, guys, let's go ahead and actually set this bad boy to sunset. So here's how the sunset does look like. We get a square sun right over here, and as you're able to tell, it is being reflected on the ground, the water. We get so many different shades like orange, pink, etc. And slowly you can see the stars emerging in the night. Remember, guys, the downloads to all these shaders can be found in the link in the description down below and in the pinned comment. Please like, comment, subscribe. See you later, French fries.